Hi. Move that. Okay. What did I call the video? Let's see. Left Behind After Rapture, number 2. So you were left behind after the rapture, or you're getting left behind after the rapture? How do you know that? I don't, but you will. You will know, because you'll be here after. Or you won't. These letters aren't directed at anyone specifically, but everyone specifically. Alpha and Omega better learn how it works. I spent the first half of my Rockstar listening to fellow brothers that I know have the Lord in them. Okay, so this is number 2. Number 2! This is why you're still here. There are 2 foundation. A foundation is the rock underneath the house. That's the foundation. If you don't have foundation under your house and it's just sand, well, the house is going to slowly compress the sand. That's why if you look in Brazil, there's a whole city. You know, you've seen that in Italy where it's got the Leaning Tower of whatever. Well, that's because they didn't build a foundation under it. They just built the tower. And then the tower's weight slowly compacted the ground, the earth underneath it. And that's why it's tilted. And sure enough, in Brazil, they did a whole city like that. You can Google it right now. The whole city, and they're still living in those apartment complexes. The whole apartment complexes, the whole block is tilted. You're like, what the heck? You'd be even scared to walk down those streets. Why? Why is there? Remember what we said? Retarded or crooked only means that you have a straight line and you've crooked it. Or you've retarded it. So their foundations, they have no foundation, so their structures have been crooked. Their structures have been retarded. If you build the beginning of your foundation, your house, on a foundation of sand, there's a parable in the Bible, go look it up. The parable of the foundation of sand. You're done for. It's going to crumble, it's going to fall, it's going to lean, it's going to be crooked, it's going to be retarded. So you have to begin the first step on the foundation of rock. Are you getting it now? Why he called Peter? Why he changed Simon's name to Peter, which means rock in Greek? Burpees. Sorry. They make you burp. Oh, I am not an advocate for rock stars. I don't get paid by rock stars. I don't get paid by anyone, nor do I accept money from anyone. But I do want to give a shout out to them. Whoever invented the Red Bull, because Red Bull started it. Thank you for opening the window to energy drinks. They are very good. I like them. I just wanted to throw it out there. I don't get paid for anything. And don't send me money. I don't accept any money. Go out and give it yourself. Go out and do the work yourself. Go out and be a child of God yourself. I digress. So now do you understand? Peter, the rock, the foundation, he was the foundation of God's church, and from there the apostles started building the knowledge and spread it out to the world. So, what is the foundation? The pillars of the gospel of Jesus Christ? Remember what I said? You obey, you do the will of your master. Well, Jesus is my master. No, you're still here and the rapture. After the rapture, Jesus was not your master. If Jesus was your master, you would have went with us. But you didn't go. You're here. So when we were all on the planet with you, even me, if I get left behind, it's because I did something against this, and God said, don't. And I refused to stop. I was unrepentant. It's impossible for us to be perfectly straight and perfect, and that's why God throws us mercy. Like I said, he doesn't want to know how perfect you've walked the path, because no man can do that. Only Jesus was able to do that. Otherwise, there'd be a bunch of sacrifices all over the place. But he knows your heart. Which way are you facing? Yes, I see. Yes, I know that man over there has a problem with porn. Yes, and he did get raptured, and you were left behind. And he watches porn more than you. Well, then why did he go and I got left behind? Because you advocated for it. You have all these saved outlets so that you can go to your porn sites fast. Bing, bing, bing. You have times throughout the day that you routinely like to go look at your porn every day. But he looks at porn more than me. I know. But he deletes it. He cries. He mourns over his porn. And on top of that, he's cut out 90%. He used to look at it 90% more. Yes, he still looks at porn more than you, but he's cut out 90% of it out of his life. And he's constantly plagued by his heart, in his heart, that he can't let this go. And he prays to me constantly. You don't. You never did. You never let it go. You kept the direction of the Satan, and he saw the light and looked for it, and he strived until I came for him. See what I'm saying? Don't judge a man by his works. Judge him by his heart. And how do we know people's hearts? By the fruit of their actions. Yes, he looks at porn more than you, and he went and you stayed. Because he was focused on me the whole time, and even though he looked at more than you, he's cut out 90% of it. And even when he does fall, you go every day to look at it. He tries his hardest to go as long as he can without it. See what I'm saying? He doesn't look at where you are on the path. He looks at which direction you're facing and the struggle in your heart. So don't judge a man. Don't ever judge anyone. So he was building his foundation. He was slowly chiseling off porn off of his life, and it plagued him. See, he looks at the heart. And you could see the heart of people through their actions. Yep. So you didn't have a foundation. You didn't start on a foundation. You didn't take this book and say you are a Peter, because Peter means rock. Boom! And you didn't throw it on the ground, and then you started building your house. You didn't do that. You built your foundation on your own knowledge, which was sand. So give us foundation, Vince. This is the letter number 2. What's the foundation that we didn't have? Okay, here it is. Follow these 2 rules to start you off very hard. Love God with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your might. Well, I do. No. Remember what we said? You serve who you love. Well, I love my children. No. My mom had children, and she still has dogs. And I'll tell you what, if I go to her house right now, I bet you those dogs are in. 2 dogs, full size for their life, are in small black cages in a small black room in a feces and piss-filled room. You don't love those dogs, or you'd get the hell out of there and burn those cages. No, you love things around you like you love objects and diamonds. I'm aware of that type of love, for I've lived it my whole life. If you love those dogs, they wouldn't be in small cages. If you love those dogs, they wouldn't be sleeping where feces and piss is in the air. I want you to go eat your food, sit down where you have those dogs sleep, and eat your food with the piss smell. Yeah, you don't love those dogs. Yeah, I know your love. No, we love who we serve. We serve who we love. And if you loved God, you wouldn't do half the things that you do. And when you did them, you'd be pissed at yourself for falling back into them. So you love your God. You love him. And how do you love people? Love isn't in it. My little brother the other day harassed the heck out of me. He was drunk. He came in. He was yelling, "Why is the window open?" And more crap. More. You know? And I just walked out. I had to leave 3 times. I walked out of the room. I walked out of the apartment, came back, went right back into it. So a grown man just left your company because he didn't want to deal with it. He left, he came back, and you still imposed yourself on this man? Then I walked out again. I didn't argue. I came back a third time, and then he's all, Vince, I love you, man. Like, no, you don't. You didn't give me any love right now. You gave me hate, argument. Hate isn't an inward, love isn't an inward emotion that you feel. Love is an outward expression. And all you expressed right now was torture. I was tortured an evening. Yeah, you guys had no idea what true love was. So yes, love your father. And if you loved your father God, you would obey him. We serve and love who we obey. And the fruit of our actions is who and what we really are. You never loved God. You loved alcohol. You loved you loved whining about every little piece of thing that you thought you owned, but God owned it. You know, you thought you loved your animals, but no, you just loved having these animals. And then when the tribulation came of having other life forms around you, you cut them off, took their liberties away, and threw them in a dark room in a dark cage. You didn't love God, for God is liberty. Do you even know what that liberty means? No, you didn't love. So number one, love God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. And in order to love him, love isn't an inward emotion, it's an outward expression. Show us your love. You never had it. And number two, so you never had that foundation. So all your Christianity was built crooked. You missed the mark. If the sights are supposed to be on the target straight up and your foundation is crooked, then your sights are always missing the mark. Number two. So number one is love God with all your mind, your heart, and your whole being. Which means God doesn't like me doing that stuff. I'm not doing it. But you did it anyway, so you didn't love God. Love is an outward expression. It's not an inward feeling. You fooled yourself. Number two, love your neighbor as you love yourself. The way you treated everyone else was not with love. No. Nope. You don't set these unreasonable terms and limits for yourself. And if you did, it was hypocrite. Don't come to my job or my house intoxicated, drunk, or on LSD. And that's all you do is drink LSD or whatever you say not to do. Yep. That's everyone around me. Everyone around me. No one loves their neighbor. Yep. No one. No one. If you have an interaction with another human, I bet you it was in anger. It was never in love, in a feeling of, I don't know you, and I don't know where your mom and dad is, but I'm going to protect you and love you when they're gone. No. All the worries of the world overrid that. All of them. So yeah, you're still here. Bam. Left behind letter number 2. Good luck.